and I know, you don't want to hear two very long speeches, but there's something I really need to get off my chest.
Louder.
There's really I'm trying not to be strident and upset Richard Dawkins by speaking too loud, so but I'll do it now. Can you hear me if I talk like this? No? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. I think secularism is a really, really important concept. It's an important demand. And it is the strict separation of religion from their state. There are not 20 definitions of secularism. I know religious groups are trying to water down the concept in order to push back secularism. We mustn't allow them. We need secularism more today than ever. We need it. Now, religion, of course, in a secular society, people who are religious or not have a right to believe in what they want. But don't forget, religion in the state, in the educational system, in the judicial system has nothing to do with belief. It has to do with political power. And therefore, this is first and foremost a battle against religion in political power. Let's be frank. Let's be frank. There is a demand for the separation of religion from the state because it is harmful when it is part of the state. Because, as I often say, like cigarettes, religion should come with a health warning. Religion kills. It kills. And Islam is central to this debate on secularism. It is central. Please stop tiptoeing around it. In my opinion, we are living under an Islamic Inquisition today. This movement is hanging gays in city centers and stoning women to death in the 21st century. This is not a private belief, it is an Islamic Inquisition. And in the same way that the tenets, dogma, and practices of Christianity, the Bible hasn't changed. It's Christianity's social status, its relation to the state, its relation to the justice system that's changed as a result of an enlightenment that today it seems, and only seems, cuddlier. We can see from testimony of Sue Cox and others how harmful it still is. The least amount of access it has to power and to influence. But what I'm saying is that with regards to Islam, we have to remember that we're not talking about just a religion. And also, we have to remember that this is a global movement. Yesterday, I was on a panel discussion on Islam in a secular Europe. The panelists in favor of Sharia law, of the burqa, of child veiling, of Islamic schools, they kept saying that if you criticize it, it's an attack on minorities. Don't forget, Islamism is a global movement with state power in many places. And it is not an attack on minorities to defend their rights to equality, to non-discrimination, and to living as equal citizens under the law. The pro-Islamist left, many liberals, some humanists even, keep excusing and defending Sharia courts, saying that it's people's right to religion. It's not. In a Sharia court, a woman's testimony is worth half that of a man's. A Sharia judge has said there is no such thing as marital rape. Calling it rape is the aggression. Domestic violence is seen as the prerogative of the husband. Child custody is given to the father at a preset age. This is Sharia's family law. Would you accept canon law for people in this country? No. So we cannot and must not accept Sharia law or the Beftin for people in this country. They say the burqa is a form of clothing. Yes, if you consider the chastity belt a form of clothing. If you consider foot binding a form of shoe wear, then yes, the burqa is a form of clothing. It is a symbol of the oppression and suppression of women. How can anyone who defends women's rights support it? This is not a question question of identity, Muslims against the rest of us. There are many Muslims who are more secularist than a large majority of people in Britain. The greatest opponents against Islamism are people living under, suffering under, and resisting Sharia law day in and day out. We need to choose and be on their side. I want to end by saying this is not a question of culture. It is racist to say that people, because they were born in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, or their grandparents were born in those countries and they're citizens for several generations in this country, don't deserve the same rights as everyone else. That's racist. It's not racist to support Sharia law. There is a far right that discriminates against Muslims. We have to stand up to the far right. Don't forget, Islamism is our far right as well. And they are one and the same. They are two sides of the same coin. We have to push back Islamism. We have to push back the far right. I just want to end by saying we all have to choose. There's no more time for tiptoeing around. We have to choose. There is an anti-Islamic Inquisition enlightenment taking place in the Middle East and North Africa. Where are the secularists defending them? We need to be vocal. They will bring Islamism on the people who have resisted and opposed Islamism and shown that their lives are antithetical to Islamism. Libya, as a result of US intervention, they've now announced that they're going to have an Islamic state. We secularists have to say no. It's not about a secular Europe, it's about a secular world. Yeah. It's not about Western versus Eastern secularism. It's the demand of many people who have never come to the West. Sakina Mohammadi Ashtiani, facing death by stoning in Iran, wants to live. She doesn't want stoning. Choose. Do we choose Sakina Mohammadi Ashtiani's side, or do we choose the Islamic Republic of Iran? Do we choose the side of Sharia courts in this country, or do we choose the side of women who want equality? Choose. Secularists must choose, and they must be at the forefront of defending the rights of people everywhere against Islamism, today's Islamic Inquisition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maryam Namazie. For a secular world.